Here in my studio today, trying not keep it too clean. A little bit of clutter can make for raw material to create with and inspiration. Even a completely worthless item can have tremendous artistic value. I would say I've always been a creative person. I've always liked to draw and sketch and paint and build things, whether out of clay or any material. So I'll tell you a little bit about that while I work on my latest project here. This is a bit of a hybrid. There's elements of painting, elements of sculpture, elements of collaging. I graduated from McPherson College in 2008 with a auto restoration technology degree. And so as a 4-year liberal arts degree, I took a sculpture class during my time in college and I really loved it. Academically, I could have chosen to go on to grad school after I was finished with college, but I was eager to get to work. So I started my own business, which was a classic auto salvage. As I matured professionally, I recognized in myself a growing desire to do something creative. And so I designed a graduate study on my own. I bought many books and spent every spare moment studying art history as a whole, particular individual styles and movements, artist biographies, art market books, and more. My favorite artists are Robert Rauschenberg and Edward Kienholz, James Rosenquist, John Chamberlain, Andy Warhol. I love these guys as much for their works as I do for their rich personalities and the creative legacies that they have left. In every way possible, they are just tremendous creative spirits that have influenced my work itself and my desire to pursue artistic endeavors. I love graphic art and vintage advertising, the commercial art that it contains. So those were sources of inspiration for this acrylic painting of a white wall tire. This is another acrylic painting that drew in just many various themes of vintage graphic art, advertising art, commercial art. I call this one Dazzle. This is another acrylic painting. Just many varied graphic themes represented here. I like the visual impact of the colors, and it's just got a good mid-century flair to it. Another tire here. This is oil on canvas. I hadn't painted with oil since high school, so this was a good just little skill builder to get back into that. This was inspired by a tire store that I had passed out in western Kansas and happened to snap a photo and put it into oil. For 2 summers, I took workshop art classes at Mark Arts in Wichita, Kansas, and on a whim, I took an enameling class. So the enamel is actually glass beads that are melted and fused to copper panels. So you can see the little practice pieces I did here. We've got the AC spark plug and the AC/DC rock band lightning bolt, the dragonfly, and the fried egg. Then for a presentation piece, I did the cat and the bird. They're obvious foils of each other, and so you can see the same basic shape. The cat's head with the ear and the bird with the beak. I duplicated those two shapes. So these are just a great juxtaposition of the color with the alternating shapes. And from a design perspective, I think this is a pair of panels that really work well together. This piece is a study that I did to proof the design, materials, and processes for an upcoming work that will be a large-size, full-scale piece. I love clay tiles. This is a 1950 Oldsmobile. I took inspiration from a vintage advertisement and put it into three-dimensional clay. Even better than a clay tile is a clay tile that tells a story. So this one was inspired by a WPA, Works Progress Administration, post office mural that hangs in the Port Chester, New York post office, and it's titled Policeman. It was done by Domenico Mortolito in 1936. So you can see that's what I took the inspiration from. This is a monkey built from clay slabs. He's currently awaiting further finishing. I built this monkey just based on pictures of different breeds. So he's kind of a composite, doesn't necessarily represent one specific breed. And he does have a companion who also remains yet to be finished. I enjoy community art in public spaces and collaborative works, and this was a piece that encompassed both of those ideas. This is a stained glass window in a local church. I helped with a professional who was really a great tutor. I learned a great deal about proper construction methods and selecting the glass, and this was really an awesome opportunity that I had to build a set of skills that the average artist doesn't always get to come in contact with. So I was very, very fortunate to be invited along on this project. My art tells the story of humankind's interaction with technology. Both the cosmetic and functional designs of the technology around us are the fodder for my painted, sculpted, and collaged works. I work in a range of genres and styles, including graphic art, pop art, industrial design, abstract expressionism, photography, printmaking, clay sculpture, and assemblages, often of reclaimed or recycled materials. I enjoy both solo and collaborative works. I take inspiration from the world around me, as well as the materials themselves. My work is born out of the creative process, with the finished results being the remnant of that creative process. It's exciting and humbling at the same time to be participant in contemporary art and to be finding a place in art history as a creator. I look forward to the future opportunities that will be available to myself as an artist.